Jim. He was talking to you. That's who he's talking to. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome, and I'd like to start out by calling to order the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for January 17th, 2023 with a roll call, please.
All right, we got board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
We got city attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
We got president Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, guys, I don't have any announcements for this particular meeting, unless you do.
I've only got one.
What's your at?
Go Bengals.
Go Bengals.
Yeah,
That's a good announcement.
I was sweating it.
If no announcements, I'll approve the minutes of the, or get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. I've got three documents in front of you guys. These are documents that come every year from the foundation for scholarships that we that they manage for us. Paul Tremaine Scholarship being one, and then the grant program that they have, and that we send money down. I'd like to get three different. We'll go through them three different motions.
Mayor, can I get some
Yes.
clarification before we do that?
Yep.
On their cover letter and the second paragraph, they talk about how the funds come out of the monies that we give them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go into the actual agreements, it just states that we will reimburse them or pay them by a certain date of like January 15th. Doesn't really clarify that, but as long as the cover letter says that, that's the understanding, correct?
Well, what it does, it
number
says
five,
in the documents as well. Like the first one I'm going to bring up is the one for $75,000. The city will pay DCF zero for those services. Okay, so it's whatever in this document that we're,
Okay.
the individual documents.
Well, I think what Tommy has mentioned is
Yeah.
the wording's not very good in the document.
That's exactly what
Oh.
I'm stating.
The cover letter, don't pay attention to the cover letter.
I'm talking about the document. The documents are not worded probably
That
the
way.
they
The
should be.
cover letter is worded that way, but when you read,
And I did
go to
ask-
number 4, on the Paul Tremaine,
Yep.
you read that, the way it states that such fee shall be paid to DCF no later than January 15th, 2023.
But in the cover letter, it says it's included in that, so it's just, it's vague, it's open
Oh, I see.
interpretation.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I did talk to Brittany, and I said, hey, do we pay an extra other than the 325 or the 500, 50? And she goes, no. She goes, that's always been included. She goes,
They're included.
and I did show her. She goes, but I can understand where you're coming from because the way it's worded in the document that we sign in the contract, it's not worded
Correct.
probably the correct way.
And if you think about it in the form of how they're thinking, if this is restricted or unrestricted funds, that would be a restricted, part of that 3% would be the restricted part of that fund.
Yes.
That would have to be used for that payment.
Used for that purpose, yes.
So that, I never thought just to click just now.
Yeah, it's not extra. It comes out of the funds that we send down there.
Just for clarification.
Good.
Thank you.
The first one I would like to get a motion on to approve is the one for $75,000. This actually is part of the $400,000 total that's sent down there. This 75 is used by Lawrenceburg High School to help the kids pay for their college credits ahead of graduating. This was done. They started doing this about 5 or 6 years ago. There's no fee for these services because actually the Vincennes University and the school actually run that program, but the money goes to DCF down the street.
And that's the early college.
That's the early college.
College classes.
That's the one for $75,000. You got any questions about that?
No.
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the
So moved.
agreement. Okay.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is the second piece of the Paul Tremaine Memorial Scholarship, $325,000 that stays with the foundation, and that is used to for kids that are in their second and third and fourth year of college and their first year actually as well. And you'll see there that the administrative fee of $25,000 is part of the 325. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but they do have a typo under number 5.
Okay.
They have January 15th, 2022. I would think that would be 2023.
Yeah.
As the rest are stated, but other than that, I have
Yep, good point. All right. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the foundation and the city of Lawrenceburg for the Paul Tremaine Scholarship with this change of January 15th, 2023 to be included.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the third document is is for the grant program. This is the grant agreement between Lawrenceburg and the DCF. This is what the $500,000 that we send down there every year that people around the county draw grants out of. Any questions on that?
I have none.
Done.
If no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
real quick, I just want to say I appreciate you bringing these up in this meeting, just because it's helpful to see, where some of these funds are going to, like the
Oh,
500,000. I mean, that's going through the whole county, and it's awesome to be able to still provide that and be a part for the benefit of the whole county, and then also being in a public meeting, saying these kids can take advantage of this Tremaine Scholarship in college through the early college credits. That is an incredible asset to our community for these kids to be able to graduate with the equivalent of an associate's degree that doesn't cost them a dime for these dual credits, which is phenomenal.
You know what yeah, you're exact. I couldn't have said it any better. But even another piece to that is there's a lot of kids in high school that would have never went off to college without this opportunity because they never thought that they maybe could do college credit courses. And with Vincennes over there, and then even Ivy Tech, they figure out in high school that, hey, I can actually do this. And then, I think it's just a tremendous
Yes, it is.
program.
It's
And this funding,
Yeah, it's just,
I think,
kudos to
yeah.
Paul Tremaine.
I think it covers part of the cost for the high school kids. It doesn't cover 100%, but it's very, very inexpensive compared.
per credit for this, they
Yes.
still have to pay a portion,
Well-
which, yeah.
Lately, it's been covering 100%.
It's been covering 100%?
Because it depends on the amount of kids that are taking it.
Okay.
I think back when Jack and my son was in college, it covered like a third.
Yeah, it covered like a
Something
third or half or something. I
something
mean,
like that.
it was quite a bit. So it's
It just
almost 100%
depends.
now then, huh?
Yeah, I was curious.
That's good.
I'd be interested in the data on that as far as reconciling that, how much of it does cover, how many kids do take advantage of it. So, and I know that Cheryl has it down there. I mean, it's,
Yeah, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the amount of kids. We can get that
yeah,
information. But no, it's good.
it's wonderful.
It's a great thing you guys make available to the kids. I have no other new business for this meeting, nor any old business. Any old business out of you guys?
I have none, Mayor.
No, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion covered. And a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Next meeting I'd like to call to order tonight is the City of Lawrenceburg Park and Recreations Committee, January 17th, 2023. If I can get another roll call, Mr. Fetty.
All right, we got, who we got? We got Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Justin Noppert.
Sir?
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
We got Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kellen Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. Any announcements for this meeting, guys?
Have none.
I have none.
Pretty good ice skating season over there.
A lot of, I just got the breakdown. Quite a few kids took advantage of that and adults.
I went on the last day.
Did you?
Only fell down twice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
At least you're,
I was pretty good at it.
well, I don't know about that, but
I had fun.
No, it was a good year. I think we had 3 days we had to shut down because of weather, 4 days, Michelle? And, it was a good year. If no other announcements for this meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have no new or old business for this meeting tonight. Entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Common Council meeting for January 17th, 2023. If everyone could rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Can I get a roll call, Mr. Petty?
Yes, we got Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Knopper.
Sir?
Councilperson Tom Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
We got City Attorney Dale Wilton.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements. First we'll do board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs downtown.
All the streets are
Mr.
good. I would like to say, to thank NDOT for fixing that hole on 50. It's already been done. It's a lot nicer.
Okay. Mario called them the next morning.
They got right on it.
Good. About streets, alleys, and curbs up on Ludlow Hill there, Mr. Fryman.
All good, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Finance, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing else.
Hey, I did see people were out in the parks today, this afternoon.
Beautiful out today.
60 degrees and
It's crazy.
taking advantage of it, I guess. Fire Department, Mr. Rowlett.
No report.
Okay. Any other announcements for this meeting, guys? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move, Your Honor.
Second,
So moved.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. First item's under me, and Mr. Weldon just asked me a question of whether or not the survey had been done on this. This is for, you guys familiar with the Short Street Alley that they're talking about here? It's the alley from Short Street to, well, not all the way to Walnut. It would be to the, what's that, I don't know what the cross alley is called.
So the other, just it.
Where the mural is.
Also, you're saying it's
Just
just
to
to
the-
the T, I guess.
Yeah.
To the cross.
Cross, or, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm following you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason for doing that is if we don't, I know the reason we're doing the vacation of that alley there is if we don't do it before the property changes hands, which is the Carpenters Union Hall. If we don't do it before it changes hands, they will have an easement or they'll own half the alley. And we want the alley as part of our alley activation project that we got going that we're gonna do from Short Street to Walnut. So that got put up on the,
So if you look at it on Beacon,
Yep.
it will actually show that area that's Xed out here as being part of theirs? Is that what you're saying?
No, it'll be ours and it'll be walking only. So we can eliminate the curb cut. Cars won't be able to travel through, it'll just be walking only.
right next to the Carpenters.
I understand
And
that,
it'll be city property all the way to the lot line. Cause if we don't do it,
but is this the lot lines, what I'm asking? you?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Xed out. Because
Well,
there's
yeah, it'll go all
bollards
the
there
way.
now. The way I understand, they want to actually build some steps or something from the bottom to the top.
Well, but it might, I think it's gonna be in the back,
Okay,
is my understanding. But if we didn't do the alley, if we don't vacate the alley prior to that property changing hands, and we vacate the alley after the property changes hands, they're entitled to half of the alley.
And we'll still give them the easement, so there's two
Oh, absolutely,
gray
yeah.
areas
We'll
are
give 'em the
easements. I think this might be for a grease trap in
Because
this.
those are encroachments on the public right of way, there's easements that.
Exactly, where the bollards are currently.
okay.
And it's better to not have traffic there. And I think, and I apologize for interrupting you, Mayor, I'm sorry
No,
about
that's
that, but this is just a preliminary drawing, we'll execute the rest of it. And I met with John, I just didn't know if we had a survey done yet or not, but we'll, if the council votes this tonight, then we'll do all the follow-up. And we also, we're closing on, the property to the north, and then we also have to think about the next steps in consolidating that, so we've got survey work to do all the way through.
Talking about the, near William Street,
Yeah, because this is gonna end up being
one.
Parks
piece.
property, this is redevelopment, but I would imagine we're gonna make it all parks.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take care of all those steps. So the parking lot belongs to redevelopment, Parks is buying the building, but we're gonna deed from redevelopment to Parks, so that Parks owns the whole thing.
So is the proposal for the vacation, that sounds like a good proposal, right?
Yeah, I could handle that right now.
Yeah,
Is it only to the end of the Union Hall property, or is it gonna go all the way up to where it tees into that other?
I thought it was all the way.
Because
It doesn't go, it goes, I think it goes to the end of the parking lot.
It, on the different colored area only shows up to the end of the building, up to
Yeah.
back of Mr. Schneider's property.
Yeah, but this is a very preliminary drawing.
You're saying
I
you
don't
think it goes
believe-
to the other alley?
I believe it's gonna go up to the cross point of the other alley. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right?
Okay, so yeah,
'Cause it's private going the rest of the
right here.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, but I
Tommy.
don't know if it's supposed to go all the way because the guy right behind the Union Hall, don't he have to have easement to get in there? So they
He gets
didn't
in
wanna
on
take
one
it all
side.
the way up.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that point, and there's also the point of even deliveries into Union Hall, that if we have it bollarded off if the truck has to park half a block away I mean,
I don't think
might
it's
have
gonna
to,
be,
but-
I don't think it'll be bollarded off, I think it's just walking instead of driving.
Well, there'll be bollards at one end of it, that's
Yeah.
for sure, because we can't have any traffic going
'cause
through there.
we don't want trucks sitting out on Short Street loading and unloading,
Right.
which we have to do sometimes.
Yeah. This is a very preliminary drawing. Like you said, Del, we'll get it all packaged up, but I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that this has to happen before we close on the property. So we needed to get council approval to vacate the property.
And he put a drawing of the ice rink dimensions on the parking lot.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure of them. I figured that would run parallel with the railroad tracks and not over into that.
It could be
Now-
anywhere.
Well, I figured that was for more discussion later on.
Yeah, I think it's just for size.
But just for,
Stick it in there.
just for clarification, and Mr. Fryman, you may be able to help me. I thought Mr. Messmore stated that they were going to need some more of that alley for the Union Hall as well.
Well, it's on
'Cause we
that,
would,
on the side, you know where the two
that's
pillars are?
exactly on the alley that
It
we're
was
talking
like
about.
6 inches or a foot or something that they needed. That's the reason they wanted to make it a walkway. But now, as far as the alley coming back to where you guys are talking about, the alley going east and west or north and south, something about the guy behind the Union Hall building, he needed to have
Yeah,
access to
he's
get
got-
to that.
And that will, but it still goes beyond the end of the building. The end of the building is not, I don't believe, was where the vacation stops. I think it's there at Mr. Schneider's property.
Okay,
It's not, that's who I was thinking of,
Yeah.
yeah.
It would have to be right there at his property.
Yeah,
And then they're also showing the new property line to the south.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is really to scale.
okay.
So,
Because that property line to the south of the Union Hall will be the new line that we create to give them room for their patio.
Yes.
and steps and things like that.
That's exactly what I was getting about where it was
Yeah.
Xed out.
So this is really 4 or 5 different things, but the primary approval is to move forward, and then plats will come in front of you again.
I know,
Yeah.
I know that, excuse me, I know there's been discussion that we were also gonna make that alleyway through there all the way over to, what was it, Vine Street? Where it would be.
All the way to the library, essentially, yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
that,
that's what I meant, the library, I'm sorry.
sort of a phase one, phase two.
yeah.
Phase one alley activation will be part of the, open air pavilion project, as I call it that, I don't know what you call it. We're gonna incorporate the, alley activation lighting piece of it with the open air pavilion. And that phase one would be from Short Street to Walnut. But as far as the vacation of the alley, it's only gonna go until up to where Mr. Schneider's property is. So, I guess for tonight's purpose then, I'm looking for is a motion to approve, going forward with the Short Street alley activation, in reference to the project that we're doing.
Can we do that, like pending future discussion on that, as far as we can say that we agree to move forward pending discussion? I mean, I feel like there's so many variables we just talked about that we really don't have any.
Well, all we're doing is we want to vacate that alley
Right.
to make it pedestrian no matter what.
Right.
If there was nothing going in there, it's the right thing to do.
Right, yeah, I think that's,
You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
it.
as far as the rest of the stuff, yeah, everything else, you guys, and we're going through you guys and redevelopment because of the project.
I mean, if you vacate an alley where you can't have vehicles on it, I'm just kind of curious to anybody that's got property on that alley, would they have to have notification if we were doing something like that? But what I'm understanding
That's
is
why we're doing it.
We're not
before
doing
we
it.
Give it, before, you're exactly right.
I mean, I was just thinking, if I owned a piece of property and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
vacated that alley and all of a sudden I didn't even know anything about it and all of a sudden it
Yeah.
was, I would be a little bit upset.
Well, the only thing is you gotta notify the people that are, would be affected by, if they didn't have access to their property.
That's what I'm,
That's why it can only go to Mr. Snyder's property.
so he could still get to his.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah, so.
He won't be able to get to it from Short Street.
But he would be able to get to his property.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
So there
that's what I was
Good
kind of
point.
concerned
yeah.
about.
No, you're fine, you're right.
There will actually be ballards right there at Short Street. keep
Yeah,
people from
there will be
driving.
something to keep, any motorized vehicle off there, yeah.
yeah, I think that's a good for public safety, but I agree with what Mr. Betty's saying, because essentially redevelopment, I'm just looking at, I don't have the full plat here. If someone were to put up a fence right along parallel with Mr. Schneider's property, Funny Farm, all the way to where that alley vacates, that essentially would be cutting off the rear access to Schneider's property.
No. He has access off the alley.
Well, not if it goes all the way if it tees into the other alley, he would not.
That's what they're saying, they're not going back that
It's
far.
going just to
Right.
Mr. Snyder's property.
Okay.
That's only as far as it can go.
As it shows in this picture, as it's
Yeah,
described.
this picture,
Right, well, I mean, that's what the picture.
It was sort of
seems
Yeah.
to describe.
it was a little confusing.
He'll have access from High Street, Walnut Street, and William
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. So should I rephrase that again?
No, I
Um,
think it's good. Just a motion to move forward.
Motion to move forward with the Short Street alley activation, or
So
alley
moved.
vacation.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I'll get with, just sent John Johnson an email, and I'll get with him, and we'll look through the meeting, this part of the meeting, and answer all your questions. Because I think those are all really good questions.
And exactly where it's gonna be vacated too, because
Okay.
it can't go any further towards Mr. Snyder's property.
It'd have to be to that property
Now,
line.
Mr. Snyder is
I'm following.
his the property on the other side of the sidewalk, or on the side of the, alley it goes through there, or is his right
it's on
there
this
next to the
side.
Union Hall?
The backside of the
Yeah,
Union Hall.
because they're,
Yeah.
the way I understand this is, the way I was explained to me, he has to have access to that.
Oh, absolutely. That's
So
Yeah.
they're gonna,
He
more or
still
less,
does.
it's gonna be shut off right there by the Union Hall.
Yes.
That's where it's gonna stop.
No,
But
it'll
you can
keep-
get stuff, they gotta be able to get their cars and stuff back there to get their
You
supplies.
can still get back there.
I think he's gonna wanna be able to drive in that little T of that alley
understanding
and
what
be able
they
to
was
drive
saying.
straight 90
He
degrees
will be
straight
able
into
to.
his garage.
He will be able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still can.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can still do that.
yeah, it's not gonna be all the way from the alley going this way, I don't know what the streets are.
You know,
and that alley
it's
going
more
back by.
about, it's more about making it pedestrian than anything else,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
That's what it's more about.
Yeah, the only property really affected is the Union Hall, and they're in agreement with this.
Yeah.
They want this to happen.
Yeah, we're pushing, we're kinda getting ahead a little bit, but he's wanting to be able to get this stuff out and start moving stuff in, so we're going at it like this.
This is just
So that he
one
can go
small
ahead
part
and
of it, but yeah,
start working on it, yeah.
yeah.
So this has to
Which
be
is
done
understandable.
before we
Right,
close,
right.
so. Okay. All right, everybody followed that? All right, good.
I'm confused, but
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Get me-
All right,
Johnson
next.
tomorrow.
Next item I have is Elm Street plat approval. Questions?
and this was so this is gonna be a lot split for Mr. Clausing's property, and representative of the of the surveying company is here, but we approved this at Plan Commission phase. Mario and John looked at it and have no issues with it, so the Plan Commission's already approved it. Now it's in
Yeah.
front of you guys for approval. So
Yeah, the way I understand it was one lot and they split it up into two because of the two houses or something. If I
yes, sir.
remember watching the meeting.
Yeah.
And then there was 10-foot.
Yeah, so they're actually splitting it into three.
Three, yeah.
So no
Yep.
no issues after they split it.
Yeah, I seen where they pinned it right on the sidewalk too.
You know, it's nice that this is another move in the right direction, because this is reconciling one big lot into two, and now we're gonna have another activated, single-family, owner-occupied residence.
Correct.
And, you know, which is exactly what we want.
Any questions?
I need to abstain from this vote because I'm the one that's getting the 10-foot.
Oh,
Okay.
Is he giving that to you?
Yeah, he gave it to me.
And that is an ancillary part. It's going to happen after the split. So Mr. Abbott recused himself at the Plan Commission too, but the split doesn't result in him getting 10 feet. He'll get it afterward, but so he's not getting a benefit, but it is still good of him to abstain, even though he's tangentially involved.
Okay.
did you say tangentially?
Yeah.
It's a good
If,
word.
contiguous.
Big words.
That's why he gets the big buck.
If no other
Could be made up.
questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
I abstain.
Can I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty, on the vote?
Tony Abbott,
Abstain.
Justin Alpert,
Yay.
Tommy Roulette,
Yay.
Lenny Fryman,
Yay.
and Brett Von Hart.
Yay.
Motion carries 4-0-1. Thank you. All right, Mr. Fetty, you're up. Cancellation of warrants.
Same thing we do every year. Any check that we write over there that is over 2 years old has to be, well, first of all, they're void anyway, because it says right on there that you have 2 years to cash a check. But technically through Indiana Code, we have to write those checks off, and you'll see the total. You'll notice that a few on the back, we were able to kind of get a hold of a few of the people, one up there in the general fund for the $100. We were able to reissue that check, and then the two for the police department there, we were also able to get a hold of them and reissue those checks. But the rest of them, we were not able to get a hold of. So they always come back and try to find us, but we'll see.
Interesting name.
Yes.
Very.
Okay?
So, just like the same thing we ever, you just approve and sign the document by the council.
Okay, all right. Okay, any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the cancellation of warrants.
So moved, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
That's all the new business I have, guys. Any old business outstanding?
I have none, Mayor.
If not, I'll entertain comments from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
evening, everyone. I think I know most everyone. I'm Michelle. I'm the director of Lawrenceburg Main Street, and I would like to take a moment today to tell you a little bit about our 2020 annual report. Thank you for your support, and tell you a little bit about Main Street in general. So I thought we have some extras. So I'm passing out our 22 annual report.
Thank you.
You would mind passing that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I have one of them. She said.
So first, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. We enjoy doing all the work that we do to redevelop downtown, and we know that we are a very fortunate Main Street to have the support of council. The history of Main Street is an interesting one. It started in the 1980s under the umbrella of the National Historic Preservation Trust. Fun fact, Madison Main Street was one of the first main streets in the country, so they were one of the first 5 pilot main streets. Now there are over 2,000 main streets across the United States, and their mission is to redevelop historic downtowns. There's also a new branch called Urban Main, so you'll find main streets like in Hyde Park, Chicago, or Little Italy's, Chinatowns, things like that. What's great about Main Street is they have a tried and true 4-point approach. So they've got a system for redevelopment that works really well. They provide us with a great deal of education. We've got a conference every year. We get together quarterly with the different main streets across the state. We've got Monday webinars, so they're always keeping us up to date on the trends and specifically the best way to support merchants and small businesses in downtowns. What you are looking at is our 2022 annual report. It's divided into the 4 points, so I'll kind of go through each point and let you know the work that we did in each one. So the first one is economic vitality, and that's basically attraction and supporting small businesses in downtown. In 2022, we had 9 new business openings. We had $7,500 in small business action grants that generated $74,000 of private investment, creating 50 new jobs in the downtown. We work closely with Brian Messmore and Ginny Fowler. We've got a group, I think you might have heard about it, our Sherpa group, where we meet every couple of months and talk about what businesses are interested in downtown, what businesses we need in downtown, and we work to find them places and work with landlords to hold spaces and make sure that we get a good business mix of restaurant and unique retail. In this particular bucket, we manage 4 different grants for redevelopment. So it would be our new business action grant, existing business action grant, our sign and awning grant, and our blade sign grant. So all of those go under this pocket of development. The most forward-facing is obviously the promotion. We produce 45 events in the downtown each year, attracting 50,000 residents. We utilized 90 volunteers who worked 475 volunteer hours. And we just closed our ice rink, attracting 8,000 visitors this year. That's up from 7,200 last year. About 70% of those visitors are from outside Lawrenceburg. And that is 800 visitors up from last year, even though we were closed because of the storm for 4 peak days. So I think we would have had at least 9,000 visitors if we hadn't had to close. So a really good year at the ice rink.
Were you open the same amount of time?
8 weeks. Marketing, obviously our eBlast subscribers, we've got 500 more subscribers to our eBlast. Instagram's up by 200. Facebook followers increased by 1,600. So although we do market across a lot of different platforms, social media is one of our biggest ones. I forgot under economic vitality, we also have a lot of programs to benefit merchants as far as the grand opening package. We have a billboard program where we provide them with 6 weeks of access to a subsidized billboard out on US 50. We have marketing assistance, and also if they accept one of the economic vitality grants, they agreed to meet with Ginny and I for a year to talk about their business plan and kind of check in and see how they're doing. So we've realized that businesses need more support, especially if they're new. So as part of these grants, they do meet with us. Now, do they listen to us all the time? No, they don't, but at least we check in with them. And then for design, this is where you're going to see us working with redevelopment for the exterior facade grants. We've got residential, commercial, non-owner occupied. We just started a new Looking Up grant that's expressly for developing second floor spaces so that we can create some housing in downtown. And the 150 apartment units construction, we're just required to report housing starts in our downtown. So we also raised $60,000 for local charities. That's part of our Split the Pot, and also our wine walks. We raised, I think, $8,000 with our wine walks. I think that's about it. I feel like we did some great work. We're happy to do it, and we really thank you for your partnership. Does anyone have any questions? Is that a lot?
No, Michelle, thank you, because, no, we're never taking away events at any given year. We're always either adding to or staying the same. So we know that, everybody's time is valuable, but, and they have their set of events that they manage, but they also help us with the city events that we have on our end. So we appreciate it too.
Yeah, it's great to activate that park. I mean, you don't want to build it and then not activate it. So you got exercise, yoga, movies, 16 concerts a year, so keeping it
Any
busy.
new exciting things for 2023 that you're able to?
Yeah, we're working on a history tour, so that one's been something that's been on my plate for a little while. Got some good ideas, and we're going to work on utilizing what we have in the city, revamping that, and then maybe adding some new features.
Did you say history or ghost?
What's that?
Did you say history or ghost?
History, but the ghost tour is on there as well. I really feel like if we're ever going to do a kind of loft or building tour, that a ghost tour is a great way for us to go. There's some really good stories in our buildings, and I know that we can attract people with the ghost stories. So that's on there as well.
Lenny can tell good ghost stories.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
Oh, I bet you could.
Well, I'll know where to go.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
You'll do a great job over there.
Thanks. Oh, and I need to thank Councilman Roulette for his time on our board. He is a great asset. He reads everything. He doesn't let any mistakes squeak by.
does?
Not at all. Yeah, we're not, no mistakes go by. I know that our minutes are in good shape, and we appreciate your time and
What you get
attention.
is what you get, right, Tommy?
Thank you, Michelle.
Any other comments? All right, if not, entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I was waiting for you to ask them
Motion
if they
carries.
had.
Thanks, everybody.